Mr. Witness, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Witness.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Witness, in which language do you wish to make your testimony?
In Mandinka.
What is your religion?
Muslim.
Do you wish to swear by the Holy Quran or make an affirmation?
Affirmation.
Madam Chair, the witness wishes to make an affirmation, okay? Repeat after me. I, Fode Danjo, do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare that the evidence I shall give.
Sorry, excuse me. Can you cancel? You wanted to say something?
To communicate to the secretary.
Okay.
Yes, that is already done, Mr. Lead Counsel. He has already stated that he wants to affirm. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we are doing.
Can the maybe chair can consult with the secretary?
Yes. Can you please come?
So witness?
Yes.
Sorry, can we take that again?
All right.
Okay. You said you're going to do your testimony in Mandinka.
Yes.
And your religion is Islam.
Islam. Right.
Okay. Can you affirm now?
Yes.
Okay. Repeat after me. I, Fode Danjo, do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam
You're
Chair,
welcome.
the witness is sworn. I have the honor to hand over the witness to you for us to proceed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Danjo.
Good afternoon, ma.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for making our time to give your evidence.
You're welcome.
Counsel, we may proceed.
Yes, thank you very much. Mr. Danjo, can you please state your full name?
Akosan membi wala mo ito ne kontongo.
Fode Danjo.
What is your address?
Ako besa batrimintole.
At this point in time, Mr. in United States.
Right now, I'm residing in United States.
Now, what is your occupation?
Ako muna wetila dogoti.
I want to
be clear whether in the Gambia or here where I am right now.
Your current occupation.
Ako sign ila dogo ibe mento sign.
I'm a state employee.
Currently,
Ako sign thing.
Yes.
Yes.
state employee. What do you mean by state employee?
Ako ni ko state employee. Wo mune firing.
I work in a health facility.
Very well.
What is very well? I mean, what did he say?
He say in English.
Mr. Bojang,
Yes.
I did not hear that. That's why I am listening to you.
Very well. May I be guided with Mr. Witness? Can you repeat it again? I'm working here.
Now, while in the Gambia, what work did you do
Ako Gambia jang ikam na dogo kenunja wala ikam na kenyang.
prior to you leaving the Gambia?
Tandi wato men na ibe jambala la wala ibe bola ja wato men.
Former chairman of the Basse Area Council.
I was a former chairman at Basse Area Council.
When were you elected as chairman?
Ako wate jumale na te tombong pour ke chairman oti.
2018 June.
This is month of June.
May 2018. May 2018.
The month of May 2018.
And how long did you serve?
Ako san ila taroje wate yelle mu kake council e
Lulu.
5 years.
Now, your educational background. Can you guide us through your educational background?
Ako san fo ise mako inole ila karango adati dola ana dandula ninkumu ila londo mendi.
Primary School.
I started my education at Koba Kunda Primary School,
St. George's Secondary Technical School.
St. George's Secondary Technical School,
Labada MDI.
then ended at MDI.
Is that all?
Ako wala mo itala karangote wala ila londo.
Ha.
Yes.
Any other academic qualification after your high school?
Ako kabri high school bang for qualification dole soto ko?
Honey.
No.
Now, Mr. Danjo, a statement was obtained from you
Ako ye kalmol di jam yalan ko kame for statement.
by the investigators.
Hari.
Yes.
You were given a copy.
Ako ifarang ninkumu ya copy di lale kaito nyimbe bul.
Ha.
That is a statement of the 7th of November 2023. Correct? 7th November 2023.
Ako November karo tiwaro la 2023. Yes.
Right.
It has 6 pages.
Ako kaito ila kalumolo ni ajube ila kumo beta danta kaito woro.
Do you confirm that?
Ako ifango yo faham le ya ajube le. 6 pages wala kaito
6
woro.
pages.
Yes, that's correct.
You signed the statement, correct?
Ako fana nata
Yes.
yes signoro kele kodi.
Ha.
Yes.
You can read and write?
Ako kaito ning isa karan no le fana ikasafero fadan kele.
Ha. Mpong lasare.
Yes, I wrote it by myself.
We apply to tender the statement of the witness for the Danjo.
Ako sante ku kela ila statement o ba dundila ngake sede jaroti.
The date is 7th of November 2023.
Yalan ko asafeta wato minna wala mo no makaro tili woro la 2023.
To be admitted to evidence and marked as an exhibit.
Buka dundi ngome nga fo nyame ngake sede jaroti.
Do you have any objection to this application?
Ako san beri ateni ajube abe kumo foka ako wadandi kol be kala akenyi nin kala fo ibe sonna le pour ka oke bang wala kudo jube wala fe ima ete sonna da pour ka kaya toke
Ha.
sedoti.
Ha. Wala kene nga sape ngaki. Iko ngaki.
That is my reason why I recorded these statements and I sent it as they said.
Good.
The statement dated the 7th of November 2023 is hereby admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BSAT/FD/001.
Ask the commission, please. Mr. Danjo, between 2018 to 2023, you were the chairman of the Basse Area Council, correct?
Ako sani kumu kabo 2018 kata 2023 amunta ko itile sita no chi itile bujenu siranti oti memu chairman Basse Area Council. Yes.
How many councillors were you working with during this period?
Ako je wo wato kono inin councilor jalle benum do ko la o jamano nyin kono.
14 elected councillors and 5 nominated councillors.
14 elected councillors and 5 nominated councillors.
Who were the 5 nominated councillors?
Ako jumanyo leketa no 5 nominated councillors wo molulol mi yalan ko ye tomonne.
Mariama Traoré, women rep.
Mariama Traoré, women rep.
Proceed.
Musa Sow,
Differently unable.
defending unable.
Disability.
Okay. Yes.
Nafa Jabai, youth representative.
Nafa Jabai, youth representative.
Nafa what?
Jabai.
Jabai.
Proceed.
Sana Drame, business rep.
Sana Drame, business rep.
Who else?
Aninjuma
and then I thought it was. As instead of more Namirope. The fifth one anytime I can let you know. Not
I was saying 5 members, but I think that is maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe there are 8 in number. But whenever I remember the fifth name, I will just tell the commission.
Now, how were these people nominated?
Akosani wolu yetol tombon nyadile.
Youth solo ngapa youth solo pour ye mo kin nominate menat la mo as a councilor, so usually la mo nominate.
We inform the youths for them to nominate or select anybody they feel to nominate so that they can bring him before us.
The women council of women group of the same thing.
And we did the same thing to the women group.
The business community the same thing.
And we did the same to the business community.
And in disabled committee for the same thing.
And the disabled committee too, we did the same.
How did you inform them that they need to nominate representatives?
I told you, Alio will faham ni nyadi wala alia fue ni nyadi le puru itol le nyanta mo tombo na miyano ka nyanta mensa mananje.
Well, ngela committee to inform, but what just not wrong. When we assume bring officer to our before the swearing in ceremony, then inform.
When we assume office before our swearing in ceremony, this was the time we informed their committees.
How did you inform these committees?
Akosany aliol inform nyadle wala ale kibaro di rola nyadile.
Nkolo pa enkai ko mon nara non drong mang sapere ke nga fo ne babali la committee member la committee chairman nga fo le ko sila mitino commandi men tombo ne so tombo ya nati kan.
Yes, this was done verbally. It was not written. We spoken to their chairman or chairman for them to go back to the committees and select representative.
Did you call them to the council to attend a council meeting so that you can inform them verbally?
Ako je bari iko alman safero ke alia fuene ako aketa nyadi le fo alia kumandele ba inata na alla council to alnata o chibaro fo e bamfo.
Angamira, it is only the business committee may inform during the swearing in ceremony. Because la grupo nyimang dada, but all the rest may be informed before swearing in ceremony.
I think it was only the business community that was not informed. This was due to the fact that they were not organized at the time before our swearing. But for the other committees, they were informed before we were swear.
How will we know that you had informed them?
Ako sign jang ndulbe alon na nyadi le ko ite yo chibarol dila wala ya foye nenu.
ngolo fa en kay ko man safere ke because wata man office ta nge inform verbally.
As I said earlier on, at that time we did not resume office yet, so we did not write to them. It was informed to them verbally.
What do you mean you did not receive office? What is that?
Ako ni ko ma resume office. Ako dung yemune we left off no floor to.
Wala man telephone man swearing man telephone kalinde watumo. So the council meeting ko no be kuma no damage.
What I want to tell you is that at that time we were not sworn, so we cannot call them and inform them, call them to a place to say that because we were not sworn at the time.
So if that's the case, then what is the basis of you informing them if you were not sworn in to take over office?
Ako sign wo adairo be kala moneti wala ala kumaya be kala moneti pour kawol kumande wa tra ite fonga office ta follow wala ime kaleni follow.
Aku mayatale because intelligent informe prior janin tela swearing in ceremony. Kaita ndila ko isi moji men select la men ko amena represent la during the council meetings.
Yes, it was.
So wala aku mayatin.
It was important, and because of that, we inform them in advance before we resume office or we take oath to be in the office. This is why it is important.
How did they communicate their nomination? These various groups, how did they communicate that to the council or to you?
Ako signing kumu itolu ila nomination o wala ila tomondoro yemenke sa itolu nata ofo ite nyadi le wala chibaro ki ite nyadi le wala la council ye wala area council.
Mbe kalindiro me almost bel na raje so yemen nominate prior ke nominate council di anat leje.
The day of our the day we were swearing, both of them or all of them were present, and that was the day they presented their reps to council.
That's not the question. How did they communicate to you or to the council? For instance, the women rep. How did the women society or community communicate to the council that their preferred or nominated member or individual is, let's say, is it Mama Trawal you said?
Mariama Trawal.
How was that communicated to you? Did they write to you?
Musul dung kabring idol sita inatela mo fango tombong mem ifango mem fo janko wala Mariama Trawal. Ako san wo chibaro ni yo samana ite nyaadi le fo ya safele bang fo.
Ya ko nga ko nyabiri di am pro lanko may safe officially. So ni fana mana le fana mo na ko mi afko safero lo ya na ya di mol e fana mo ke ya na ya identify mo le ka ko ni ka mo la representative at the council. So
as I said earlier on, when we were informing them, we did not write and do as they do. When they were to reply or bringing the rep to us, they did not write. They just informed us and they brought him to say this is the person we selected.
Is that not contrary to the act?
Ako for warning lua me alang ko wala landri impro do ko samanya. Ako for imang fa
the Local Government Act.
Local Government Act.
As it came on the Local Government Act, different. But this was just shortly bring collection of battle. So we cannot know much about the Local Government Act at that point in time.
Yes, that is true. It may be true that it doesn't match with the Local Government Acts, but as I said earlier on, that was our first time, or when we were newly there. We don't even know, or I don't even know about that Local Government Act.
If you don't know about the Local Government Act, then how do you know you are supposed to appoint?
Ako sign Local Government Act ni te mao long iwalo na nyade le ko ite nyantale kamota.
Ma Local Government Act long.
I don't
know. It was just less than 2 weeks.
I don't
so maybe maobe karankaita ndiko nimbe nominated councillors nimbe identify la nyante second officially. Maybe more karambo at that point in time.
I don't mean that I don't know the Local Government Act, but what I'm telling you, we just came recently, less than 2 weeks. So I did not know that we supposed to write to these groups.
If you were there in 2 weeks, it does not matter. The same provision that that mandated you to nominate or get people by way of nomination to serve as nominated members is the same provisions that talk about the procedure.
Ako je ka fogo lo kum flale ma ko hati wo man kum maya ko bare ni ajube wo kalma chilingole wala wo luwa membe landre wo kilingole mi ala ko wala ay tani la ko molu nyantale represent e nanta ka mol nominate membe na je ke to represent ako sila kilingole ma.
Well, yeah,
truly speaking, we did not write to them and they don't write to us.
Were the appointments approved by the minister at the time?
Ako itol ta memo appointment ka memo appointment ka bari ta ako fu minister le approve bang o wato nyin kono.
Minister inform.
We did not inform the minister.
Then those appointments were invalid.
Ako sa amunta ko wala appointment wo mang kati.
Okay, I accept.
Yes, I accept.
Why did you not inform the minister?
Ako munatin na minister nying alama kalamutandi.
Likas membi jam ngolo ko ko minaka nje wati me mang lokum plus ronje. So nte wobi karam ga ni mang CEO member nyada mo guide la di CEO nyada mo guide ni CEO mo guide non be ko nyame. It's impossible the minister inform no la much more kabo ke safe official.
As I said earlier on, we were coming newly, just less than 2 weeks. We cannot know or we need to be guided. So if we are not guided, there are certain things like such we cannot be able to understand.
Mr. Danjo, where is it written that you have to be guided?
Ako abe safari mentole ko inyanta kete guide wala ke makoy.
Where?
Pronto sa ngame fire wala bije. My minister informed Nako Lua Mansongala, those appointments are invalid. It's not following acceptable, but that's the trend mental.
Yes, I'm telling you what we have done, that truly speaking, we don't inform the minister. But now, if you say that does not, or the appointment is not valid, definitely, yes, I'll agree.
No, you were saying you have to be guided by the CEO. I'm now asking you, where is it written that you have to be guided by the CEO?
Ako ba if wala afoko CEO wala yante makwela wala yante guide la. Ako je la ke nyininga wobe safari mintole ko itela da do ko nyanta men kala CEO wala yante.
Ma fa be safari nyaba yi technical ngamira ko natari or siba do nyaka bo ate bijel no before tel ngana.
No,
it is nyanda fo mole ko nyanda safari la nyanda kala ten.
It is not
from there and sata nga otawanya.
It is not reason.
I
did not say officially.
It's not my personal suggestion.
I don't say it is officially written, but all I'm trying to say is that as far as we came newly and he was there before us for a quite time, well, I think he needed to guide us for us to know exactly what is the procedure or not.
That is your opinion.
Yes, that's my opinion.
Yes, that's correct.
But if you see anywhere that any of your powers are subject to the guidance of the CEO, then you can tell us.
Ako bar sign na try dula je wala be dula je la bi yalon ko wo me itande wala itala nyanto wala ila semmo nyanta ko taban la nyamen si wobe CEO la bala ako sa itande mo la wala ya fo moli.
In the absence of that,
ako ni wo botaje
your responsibilities are your responsibilities.
Ako itala nyanto mo ila nyanto.
You must carry them.
Ako nyanta le kawul samba.
You must follow the law.
And nyanta le kalwa no.
And so that's why we're here. If you are there for 2 weeks,
ako nyina na mbenu jang ntolbe jang ako ni bi tu lokum fala ko me fa nyame.
That would not be an excuse.
Ako Martin na de.
You were to know. That's why you ran on an election.
Ako inyantale kalo.
The presumption is you were competent enough to be a chairman.
Ako bayri membije wala miro wala jiko membije wala mu iketa moti mi ala ko ya sile project sirantiodi.
So to say that we were there for a week or 2 or 3 months is never an excuse.
Ako ni bije ka fako lokum fula wala kare fula wala kare saba ako o manke kutidi.
Understand that?
Ako ya paham.
Okay,
okay, I hear you.
The law requires that you have follow a procedure.
Luana lande ko inyanta nyi silo letala.
That if you look at the 2002 Act,
Section 11, 2002 Act,
Section 11 with respect to the composition of council.
Ako Section 11 mi alam ko council la do ko nyam nyanta kala nyame.
Paragraph F talks about nominated members.
Ako ite ila paragraph F we men fo je wala mu nominated members mo mi ko ye tomonde.
That nominated members consisted of not more than 1/5 of the elected members.
Ako bari ibaje la ko mol mi alam ko ye menu tombong wo manyana katambi 1/5 of mi alam ko ye carte of ay woli.
Representing local, commercial, and social interest groups.
ako mi yalan ko wala do ko nyanta kala wala representation wala local and commercial groups solo wala business safarol de
shall be part of council. These are my words.
ako o nyanta karla tarla council le bala ako nyinna ketat la dia akumodi
Subsection 2,
ako ni bota je tara subsection 2
that nominated members shall be proposed by the civil organizations
ako bare ba jala ko wo molu civil officer non wala kafo ningal men be kere wala nyanta ka wolu tombo ngi faye
or interest groups they represent,
ako wala groupe wala kafol me yalan ko itol be lori wol to yala je
and appointed by the chairperson
ako annun chairperson me musirantote wala nyanta le ka wolta
with the concurrence of the Secretary of State or the minister as the case may
o
be.
batara nyomo keta aning secretary of state wala minister me yalan ko be manade wo ko
You did not follow any of these procedures
ako banne ajuwe ni silolu hani killing itemanna wala doma
because you don't have evidence of these groups sending their nominated members officially to you.
ako
to
bayri
council.
ifan men fo ko wo groupe wala wo kafol wala la to mol ki nanje ako wo sedete je membe o tan la ko ila ko mo ara to nyata
You did not inform the minister at the time,
andum fanan minister membe je e manna o fanan kalamtandi
and so their appointments would have been invalid.
ako sai ba jela wala do ko wala ila tanya o di silo manta
You agree with that?
ako sonda wala
Ana ko nyaga ni sonda to.
yes if you say so yes I agree
Ko manta wala.
because it doesn't work like that
Now, the issue regarding the accounts of council,
ako sa nata council la dafulo
how many accounts during your time
ako konto me alon ko council la konto jelde mu itala wato
did council keep or operate?
ako konto jelle me alon ko council la konto mu jamano me alon ko ite bije kanto jelu
Do you recall?
ako fo se ak lo bulande do ba
Ngalo mina wate men accountant le trust bank.
no the time we came we found they have an account at Trust Bank
I ante hakilo tabula la bela ba ngalon ko jani mi dala no ngakadal no pourka jani be bala je wate men ngakadal no fonga account lo ke 3 accounts.
I don't remember exactly but all I can remember was that before I left there I tried until we get 3 different accounts
When by Jibi Sala was appointed as acting CEO in 2023, sorry, during that time,
ako by
Jibi Sala,
Jibi Salla keta moti mi alon ko yata wato la ka deputy CEO itala jamano nyin kono
on the 14th of July 2023,
ako keta July karo til tang anin nani 2023
he met council operating the following accounts:
ako wona ta je wato men wa tara council nyin wo ila o konto be tamaka
7 in number.
ako worola
You have GT Bank, that's
Link-
Guaranteed Trust Bank,
GT Bank wolem Guarantee Trust Bank
then Trust Bank,
yebo je yena do so Trust Bank
Ajib Bank, that's the Islamic Gambia,
Ajib Bank Islamic Gambia
Alliance Financial Services,
Reliance Financial Services
Supersonics,
Supersonics
Vista Bank, then FI Bank,
Vista Bank and now FI Bank then FI Bank
Eco Bank.
aning Eco Bank
You were aware of these accounts?
ako fo haklo wala ñu account control kalam tale ba
Nge kalamuda ba explanation bi jensi men fana fono je nge kalamuda.
yes I was aware or I am aware of that but I have some explanations to that
Go ahead.
ako isa fa no
Most of the financial institutions bank jama bi je e ka men fo wolom ko ni be la demand note dola de foisi account o sodon with the council. Council account o sodon in the bank.
some of the financial like banks if you want to open an account yes it and ba
Ani komi ni inyandela demand note dola at the beginning of the year.
for instance if you want to pay the demand note at the end of the year
E bugala pour ka join the other bank se ka fole foisi account o yele telefon la banque le ko do nyete account o kono je.
they don't agree for you to pay it into another bank normally what they want you to do is to open an account in their own bank
Is that a law?
Bor niaji be transaction jil kono there are few banks ngami me for about 3 or 4 banks me anko nka wole so don back me anko ni ka transaction ke kende bo nyindo ka wakakel don just receive it.
I think we have about 2 to 3 banks of which we normally often do transactions, 3 to 4 transactions, but others we have their accounts, but the transactions are not as those four.
So when these financial institutions or banks, when they ask that you must open an account with them before they pay the demand notes, is that a right that they have?
Ako sa yung banko lo ni fo e kome ko ni after demando demand note jola ji ka fo ne account ko ala konto yele ji ako fo mu silol di ba.
Well, ngama o bayin dem gada account yelo la. The CEO ni finance director nga wolle so for no kendeke.
Well, for me, I don't think I'll have much to say about that. It's only the CEO and the director of finance who have a lot to say.
Why are you saying it's the CEO and director of finance? You were the chairman.
Ako mo na ko CEO and director of finance. But ni ajube itlem siran.
Ndebo account side. Ndebo account side.
I don't.
You can even inform them. Yeah, point.
I don't sign the accounts. They do inform me.
So then
Yes.
then you don't have a job in council.
Ako amunta ko council ko na wala area council ite man do ko sotun je.
Fine, not ya go na accept.
Yes, fine. If you say that, I will accept.
No, Mr. Daniel, you don't have to just accept.
Ako amang ko ni me ngom ko ite so.
When I tell you it is based on the evidence you are trying to give.
And because CEO ni finance director will be responsible. Now I can man do go to the council. Then I accept onyal ba ya onyal.
If I say that is the CEO and the director of finance are responsible, and from there you said then that means I don't have a work in council. I will agree. I will say yes.
Council depends entirely on money.
Ako council ni ajube wolbe sembe benda tu atara data be munafulol de wala kodo.
The bloodstream of council is the finances that they have.
Ako ibajela ko council linkumu itolu singo menti wala mu nafulo men kadung ikamensoto.
So for all these chairmen, or most of them, and then the mayors for between 2018 to 2023.
Ako ni ajube chairman Jamal lemu ani mayolu.
Between 2018 to 2023.
Kapo 2018 kana 2023.
The notion you have is the CEO and the finance director that signs checks.
Ako miro wala tamanya membala wala mko kaje ko CEO wala finance director wala ka check all sign.
And therefore you're not responsible.
So ninkumu itela nyanton teoti.
Is that the case?
Ako fo abe wala nyama.
Well, and that was the same system I adopted.
That was the system.
Then man check sign. That was in Kamenke Olamko finance subcommittee sotong nila permission either the finance subcommittee or a finance director or a fire during a council meeting.
Yes,
but
that is
as the chairman, man check sign. Yeah.
Yes, that is the way we were doing things, because as a chairman, I have never signed any check, or sometimes if we need something, we'll talk to the director of finance or we talk to the finance committee.
So what is your job as chairman?
Ako sign itala siranti ya ila dogo community.
And I am the political head of the council.
I am the political head of council.
Meaning?
Ako wa mune itandi, wa mune fring.
Fema fe yalon ko council overseeing no. Ndanda kabla kono. But komi kabo ko signature on accounts? No.
Yes. That is for anything depending on the operation of council, I'll involve, but for finance to signal, to sign something for finance, no, I never did that.
What is your job? What do you do as chairman?
Itala dogu ti kamune dogu kome itala msiranti oti.
Nada men dogu lang kole dogu je. I preside over the council meeting. But that's one of the number one responsibility. Presiding over council meetings.
What I'm supposed to do there, that is what I normally do, that is to preside over the committees.
That's all your council meetings.
Council meetings.
That's your job?
That's my primary job according to local government.
That is my primary job according to Local Government Act.
What is your secondary, or what are your secondary jobs?
Secondary job.
Possibly,
not possibly.
The day-to-day administration of the council may go in consultation with the CEO.
Possibly, they running day-to-day of council in consultation with the CEO.
And how do you do this?
Some of them agreed on a council meeting.
Anything that have been agreed from council meeting.
Administration, the CEO, they try to implement what the council agreed on.
Then I will be good CEO to see to it that let that be implemented, what council have agreed on.
Any family from Madame is towards the council.
Anything that came to council about the expenditure or about monies?
At council level, at council level, implement.
And at, like financially or whatever we are to implement, I talk to the CEO, let the CEO talk to his men so that they know or see how to implement it.
And then, so for all this, issues of finances are not a part of your responsibility.
Ako signing kumu depanso la karala wala nafulo la karala woman ke tela nyantori.
Lead council may understand ninko account manga signature, that doesn't mean ka manda do kiranje. But physically to sign checks or responsibility.
If you should understand what I mean, I just say I don't mean that all this I'm not included or anything such like finance. But what I'm telling you here is that like signing checks, that is what I have never done therein.
What follows, or what is the procedure in council?
Area council.
In signing checks. What precedes these signatures? Do you just wake up in the morning and have the finance director and the CEO just sign checks randomly like that?
Director finance of financial director and CEO will catch a call sign. I believe the program will be a program and budget of Nambijele Coronia spend and so ni for spend according to the budget. Never signatory. So see finance director they let us sign. For council business.
I believe there is a plan and a budget. So any expenditure that council need to do, I think they'll have to go through that. But as I said, I am not involved in signing any of these checks.
So the Local Government Act 202, the Local Government Act 202.
Ako sign ninkumu local government la loi men data 2002.
The functions of the chairperson, section 15.
Ako ni ajube chairperson la nyanto menti tumbutang anilulu.
You are to supervise the general administration of council, correct?
Ako itile kita moti me alonko general administration of council ite janta supervise la kajube.
Right?
Yes, that is correct.
How do you supervise?
Ako ite ka olke nyadile ka council supervise nyadile.
I
think I have to repeat that.
Local government agreement belong to the council.
I think I have to.
Supervision of the council's daily activities, that is in consultation with the CEO. Activities on the Kela and the CEO in Kala pulled with Nyadile.
So
he tried to punish me. I asked him punish information because let's say
sorry, Madam Chair, I think the witness is going fast.
Yes. Mr. Daniel,
yes.
Sorry, when you speak, you have to break a bit so that he can interpret. Because you opted to speak in Mandinka. So if you continue to speak, he will not be able to interpret simultaneously. So you give him a breathing space to interpret what you have said. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Can you come back to the statement you were making?
How do you conduct this supervisory
Ako sang itala nyanto memu ka supervising ke ite la supervising ke nyadile ela do hula le ke la do go tamandi nya korosi nyadile.
Council committee also almost every day or every other day.
Yes, at council we used to have meeting every day or every other day.
That is the chairman, the CEO, and the finance director, and the development officer most of the time.
That's the chairman, the CEO, the finance director, and the development officer sometimes.
Development officer will come minutes of the meeting.
And it is the development officer who used to take the minutes of the meetings.
Usually nyanta activity kala o ko nyata nyamen ka kacha je la nyale den ni fundita isi head of department shall inform ko nyata nyame.
And normally, whatever we agreed on, that should be implemented. Then from there, they just go and inform the head of the departments.
Nimbe bitulo kila miango pengo fe alonga a procurement involved.
And whenever we are calling a meeting that involve procurement,
Usually in coming for the procurement officer have to be in place.
and usually what I used to advise them is that the procurement officer must be present.
So ni ngamen kacha auto then the head of department member je inol bitanyol.
So whatever we agreed on that meeting, then all the head of departments will go ahead with that. That is how we used to carry our functions.
Mr. Danjo, are you familiar with the financial manual?
Ako sa ni karo menti wala muna fulo la samanya ako fo ya o kalam talaba wala idal talaba wala financial manual
Demanding.
eli ube
Why a little bit?
ako muna na demanding.
Well, ngamen karanoje ngada mandina karanoje ngamen comprehend no kende ni nga difficulties on water I can always refer back to the book.
Yes, what I comprehended from that is very limited. Anytime I have doubt or I need to know something, I go through the book.
I will read section 305.
Ako sang tundu 305 abina wale karana.
It talks about the authority for expenditure.
Ako je ay nyantole fo wala sembo mimbela puru depanso la karola.
Says the authority to incur expenditure is vested in council.
Ako sang ye be itani jang wala depanso la karo be landering council le bala.
Through budget approval.
Ako bajela ko wo bebe semmer benna wala budget approval.
That the finance director shall not make any payment.
Ako by financial director amanyan joro kela.
Nor accept any charge.
Amanyan na ben ay charge fanang sonna ason so wala.
In his accounts unless authorized by the chief executive.
Ako ala accounts so kono fo natra CEO wala chief executive officer sonda.
And in accordance with the monetary thresholds approved by each council.
Ako fana ibaje la ko fana wo fana ni menyan tatala nyo wolem thresholds mi alon ko council leo approve.
Are you aware of these thresholds?
Ako nyin thresholds so i haklo be wol kan ba wala e kalam tale bang. Yes, I fully remember them.
What does it mean?
Ako way muna itandi thresholds.
Threshold I mean wolam natay at general council level albenda ko the administration's manana code spend is more than 100,000 without the approval of the center of the general council.
The threshold is that if council make a meeting and agree to expenditure that is less than or not more than 100,000 without the approval of the authorities.
Of the general council.
That is the general council.
Did you have the threshold at the time?
Ako threshold so balbulje wato laba.
I can't remember.
I cannot remember.
So how did you come up with the 100,000, or is that only an example?
Ako sa come nanga moment for 100,000 wili keme ako for ilaf wo ka wahay mal example ka ke example diba.
I need threshold. So my example ko right.
Yes, you ask me what is the meaning of the threshold. That is why I take that example and quote it too.
Oh, okay. So if you knew that there ought to have been a threshold, why did you not have a threshold during your time?
Ako sign ni akam da ko threshold nyanta sot la jele. Ako muna na itla jamano threshold man soto.
Well, man threshold soto man definitely about my academy okay no. Market dun bari I know ajanda kala nun kai. Ngolon say na kanya kala.
Yes, at that time that is true. We did not have any threshold, but now I am aware that we supposed to.
No, you were aware. You said you gave an example. You were aware that there ought to have been a threshold.
Ako ya kalam tale. Ako bayari ni ajube bari bota ka sample for science.
What maybe from project la kaba ko ngalon otumo.
Unless if you want to force me to say I know, yes, I will agree. But as what I'm telling you is at the time I was not aware of that.
Mr. Danjo.
Ako Mr. Danjo.
Yes.
If you want to take it as a force,
ako ni amata ko be for seka.
You can decide to interpret it in that way.
Ako ni iste sa aje wo nyama.
Well, threshold malon mo kaba threshold ni kala nya so ninna ralo sa kaba threshold do nyal no fire nako ngalon force, then it's okay. Nga accept about arrangement for ngalon force.
What I'm trying to tell is, as I said, at that time, the threshold, as I said, I did not have the idea, or I don't know of that of the threshold, but now I am aware of it. But if you said no, I'm supposed to know and I know, well, I will agree.
Mr. Danjo, maybe
Yes.
you allow me to finish my sentence. If you want to interpret that to be forcing you, the choice is yours. You are in America. The commission is sitting in the Gambia, and it is public hearing. I am asking you questions. If you interpret that to be a force, that is your problem. The hearing is televised. But I will still ask you what I have to ask you. So if I have to force you, then you would have been here. It would have been easier to force you if you are in directly with us here.
Our
position is you knew that there was.
I don't think what I have said. I don't think what I have said to you is something harsh, because I said I don't know. But now, if you put it to me that I know, I will agree.
Yes, you knew.
Because
the law was there when you were the chairman.
Ako bari ite dandi binaje fo wato men na inata je ako wolwa klingo wolebe je dandi diwe kala ki amanot.
And then it is very clear as to how expenditure should be authorized.
Andundun kule mi ko ya lanu nyame ya lankine yale ko depanso nyanta kala nyame.
So even if you do not know,
ako hanna tra ite malong,
which by all indications you knew, because I asked you and you gave me examples.
Ako bari ni ajuwe itande dol bi je mi ko fon ya itande ya wo ya itande le ko ya kalam tale bari kabira yin ka example dol fo ay ne jam.
You ought to have known.
Ako inyantale ka lo.
You are elected to know.
Ako ye to monne pour ya.
So that you manage the affairs of councils properly.
Isa je ko area council la tamanya isa manage ani silo ita.
Is that not the case?
Ako faman ke onyama. All elected people does not know this book at one time.
I am concerned. I am interested in you.
Ako ate be telema.
I'm elected. I'm elected. But I'm elected.
As you said, I'm elected. Yes, I believe, as you said, I am elected. But what I mean is not everybody who is elected must know or have known this book.
I am
yes,
interested.
It's true. You are speaking. The whole world is listening. But what I don't know, I'll tell you. I don't know. What I came to know now, I'll tell you, is recently I have that idea.
Further to the authority for expenditure. It says, as regard the monetary threshold, it should be noted that
akosanya juwe monetary threshold wolbe ila kunyanta jela nyame wolem ko
up to a given amount the CEO can approve and incur expenditure.
Akon nanga mole bije mi yalan ko CEO si wo approve nole ka ke ko ali wo si dépense nole
without reference to the chairman or mayor of the council.
Ako je asi wo ke nole hana ma reference to ite chairman o bulu wala mayor council wala mayor
up to a certain amount.
Ako fana meta fo nangam la
the CEO is required to consult and seek clearance from the chairman.
Ako kontrolo bije nim fotata je de CEO ma te wo ke no la fay fo ay itila moy wala le ñoo moy anite chairman o wala mayor.
What does that mean?
Ako woy mu ne itandi
woy me itandi well at la prediction of it, or maybe as a Ghanaian prison, well, only any expenditure bekela. The CEO should inform the chairman.
I'm saying here, what expenditure that's supposed to be done, the CEO should inform the chairman.
Yes.
Yes.
There should be a threshold, a limit as to what the CEO can spend without you clearing it.
Akokodo nanga mole bije me alongo ni wo sulo lota CEO si wo dépense no as wo sign no le wo aka approve hana ma foe.
When it goes beyond that limit,
akoba nata mita wo nanga mola,
the CEO must clear that expenditure with you.
Ako je CEO dama manya na utaban lalde ite nyanta fanang faham la nyanta le ka o itanda al flow li si aleo dépense o nyin ka sonko nyanta.
Mambala ka mempo.
I don't disagree to what you are saying.
Bari nga men fo wotumo man threshold so don jeno.
But what I'm telling you is that at that time we don't have a threshold there. Really.
That's why I said
Nga fa nyame wolom ko wotumo malo no ka fo threshold na talla je. But sa ngalo no ko threshold be talla je. Threshold na talla je.
What I'm telling you is at that time I did not have the knowledge that there must be a threshold, but now I am aware there must be a threshold there.
but now it's late, you are no longer the chairman.
Ako ba sa what I'm telling, bari te mantara ye monkey siranti design.
It's late because millions and millions of dollars were withdrawn.
Yes, I accepted. It is late.
Because millions and millions of dollars were withdrawn.
Ako ni ajube nying tadema ketale bari sa mantara jang anu kodi jamale bota jemi alang ko million.
More than $51 million
Atameta million telulu ning kilin na fa.
were withdrawn
Wol be bota ye bondi bankol ko
by the
wala.
people you are supposed to supervise,
Anu molle mi alang ko itele jantale kawol korosi.
by the people that you are supposed to give clearance for these withdrawals.
Andu uketa molti mi alang ko itele nyanta kan ha ka song pour isaje wo kodo nying isa bonni no.
So if your excuse is you do not know at the time,
Ako sa ni te ko we fan sen la ka foko itemal londo soto wala man fel lonje wa jamano nyin kono.
that's not an excuse.
Ako manke excuse tide.
The law requires that you have to know.
Ako luwa e me itani wala inyantale ka long.
So it's either you are part of them
Ako fo ite fang fo ida be wol mol kol kono me ba.
or you are just not competent enough.
Wala ima wo londo le soto fo ke mone ke na ikoto ka woke.
That is it.
Ako da malen.
Okay.
Okay.
I accept. I
accept.
Which part did you accept?
Ako sanyin kumobe ite kumajubale isonta menna.
The part that you are not ready for the job, or the part that you are competent?
Akamembo kabo 51 million bodaje nke ngalon ko kodo men bodaje ajama babe adunda project ko lako.
Yes, I agree that you said monies were withdrawn up to an amount of 51 million. I
Far
agreed,
more.
yes.
Far more.
Yes, but all I want to tell you is that the monies that I knew was withdrawn was put into projects. It doesn't mean that the monies were withdrawn like that.
No.
Ako
Mr. Danjo,
Mr. Danjo.
Yes.
if these monies, because you see what you guys do as chairman or
Ako
mayor,
normally yung kodo ako parate fa alaji ko lem alkamenke ko atol sirantiolo.
you guys were very familiar with the authority you have.
Ako atol ka multi mi alon ko nyanto wala sembo member atol like men for authority aliya faham bakale.
But you hide behind the fact that the CEO and the finance director will sign the check.
Baral ke fang samba koma ka foko wala kal fam mabondi kal dendi kal fan dendi ka foko ha CEO and financial director wala nyanta ka chekol sign.
When those two will only sign check
And wol mo flulu nyanta ka chekol men sign
as an end product,
ako be kala laban dulalti.
there would have been so many processes.
Ako be alon ko chekol nyin tamita do sila jamala san laban dula.
And so there is no way
Ako sign sila teoto
that they should sign a check
mi alon ko nyanta ka chekol sign
and withdraw a certain amount
anena ka ko je na fulo wala konto bondi je ko do
without you either knowing during the time
andu wakatra wa tra itema kalamta wato ko no
or having the possibility of knowing after it was signed.
ka foko sign ite ban imbi da lon na wala iba lon na iba kalamta la wato men na ya ni ma kalamta dadi ba sign la
No
iba
way.
kalamta la dandi ya sign ako ni ma ite ni ko ite o kalamta la man fo manke wato sutolo
No chance.
ako silote je
What is your excuse?
ako yemune so foje be men excuse tala je
ala diamo nyimbe jam fa anta abi ansa no la kilin na ke do man ko me ya fa nyame mba
Council, I want you
captain one time.
I want you to be audible because what you have said is a long sentence, so I don't understand much. I don't know what
Okay,
to say.
let me repeat.
Very well. Ako akamurung alakumol no.
That you, as at the time you were chairman of the Basse Area Council,
Ako ite fango membe sirinteng wato men na iketa sirantioti Basse Area Council.
you ought to know
Ako inyantale ka long.
when withdrawals were made.
Ninko do ta ya bu ikodo
Either
bondi bang.
before,
Ako fo dandi ba bondi la
during,
wala abondi wato
or after.
wala ni abondi fo
Do you
pare.
agree with that?
Ako isonda wala le bang.
Manso
I disagree.
Which part did you not agree with?
Ako sabole man son jumale to.
ka fo anytime ko do nyanda bolande ndo bala kalama.
To say anytime monies for the withdrawal of the monies I should be aware.
Before,
Ako dandi ba kala wala
during,
wala ba taka ba bondi ka wato men.
or after it is done.
Wate wolo ya bondi wa
Jani babo na there are certain period me an ko do like nada saris bekeri.
there are certain withdrawals of which I'll be aware before it is done. For instance, when there are salaries,
other expenditure me alan ko fana ngeki ngalon ne abekalanya especially nga men discuss at council level mbol lon nale.
And other expenditures that we discuss at council, I'll be aware of them.
All before withdrawal. But
Yes.
all expenditures na bekala all withdrawals from the bank before mbalon nale during or after months or
Yes, for that I'll be aware. But to say all the withdrawals that has taken place from the bank before, during, or after, no, I disagree.
Now, were you in a position to request for the statement of account
Ako fo ibe person to pruka statement of account
of all the banks that you keep as an area council?
mele mo bankol be mi aron ko ila control bel ay bulu ila alla area council.
Do you have the authority?
what
Ako fo e o sommo so dole ba.
had emotion because
No, I don't have.
Make a member how long I'm not a signatory to the account.
I don't have
any authority.
I don't have that authority because all what was said is that I'm not a signatory to that account.
Chairman, you are saying that you cannot tell the CEO that to produce the statement of accounts. The CEO that you supervise,
Ako
that
po
you
sa
can't
akin,
tell him to provide the statement of accounts.
Request for the statement from the bank. I didn't have any authority statement request from the bank. I have the authority to have a CEO. I want to see the statements of the bank, but I didn't have any authority to directly. More authority to qualify.
Sorry, Mr. Janjo, we have to keep the discussion civil and we have to listen to one another. So when he speaks, allow the interpreter to interpret so that you will appreciate the question and you will be able to formulate your answers. All right?
All right.
Yes, please. So allow him to speak when he asks the questions so that the interpreter will now interpret and then you will answer. That
Okay.
way you will be able to grasp the meaning of his questions and you will be able to answer them well. All right?
Good. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Chairman, are you saying that you
Yes.
do not have the authority to request that the CEO provide the statement of accounts?
Ako fo ilafta mem fala ja wolem ko ite manjanto soto pour que CEO nyinin ka the statement of account pour awo itanila wala adila.
O man kala first question. La first question I need come in. Well, fundamental authority to request the statement. To request the statement whether from the bank or whether from the CEO. I need to clarify. But I have a CEO. I have the authority to have a CEO if I need the bank statement.
No, this wasn't the question. The question was that you asked me whether I have the authority to request the bank statement from the bank. But for now, you are saying that whether I have the authority to request from the CEO to have the statement, the bank statement. Yes, I have that authority.
So I did not use the word the bank,
Ako bank nying atema oto fojede.
but the purpose here
Ako pare daliro mendi.
is to go to the merit of the issue, Mr. Danjo.
Ako wale mo ngata diamo mu mene kumu mu mendi ngata okungang.
It will be irrelevant to discuss what I said or what I did not say.
Ako ibajela ko puruka kumol fo mi an kate mo fo wobe kala diam kelsi.
I will rephrase it.
Ako aba ele mandela lesai.
Do you have the authority to demand that the CEO provide you with a statement of accounts?
Ako sa nyinin karo menti fo ite yenjanto sotole wala sembo sotole puruka nyinin karo ke CEO pro a statement of account yitandila.
Nina request from the CEO about a statement of the land.
Yes, if I request it from the CEO, I will be given a statement.
And so if you are given a statement and you go through it, you will see the withdrawals that were made by your people or any other person.
Ako sa amonta ko request a statement on your request for a dealer. Je iba jela mol mi alan ko wala iba kalamtala mol mi alan ko ko do bonni bank.
Very well, Mbajila.
Very well, I'll see.
But that's what I said earlier.
Ako nyinati na I offer on juna.
But I said you were in the position to know
Ako nyinati na ako inyantale ka long.
before,
Danda bekela
during,
na beke kan
or after withdrawal.
wala na aketa pareta.
Now, do you agree with me?
Ako sa isondale.
Qualify and kind of all withdrawals manango before Nyanto Dolon.
Yes, I'm telling you, it's not,
Okay.
it's not all withdrawals that I supposed to know.
I didn't say that.
Before.
During,
Ako during na beke kan I will not know all of them.
okay. After? Are you in the position to know after? Do you
Ako
have
after na tambita for if I
Linga statement or request from the CEO, amalo na.
if I request the statement from the CEO, yes, I will know.
so the after is correct?
Ako amunta ko after wo correctly, wo lotally.
If I request, linga request from the CEO.
Yes, if I request from the CEO.
And you have the power to request.
And yes, mo sotole wala nyanto sotole pro ka woni ngaro okay. Request. Yes.
So why did you not request?
Ako sa munatin na ite buka din ngaro okay. Wala request.
Of course, Dolto Limbe General Council meeting na vinka CEO staff ile kafa finance director inform that we want statements. I statements na from the banks.
Yes, it happens. It do happen sometimes when we are carrying or conducting our meetings. I do request from the CEO that let him write to the director of finance for him to provide the statements.
Lamin Suso withdrew over $51 million.
Ako Lamin Suso, I could remember nile atamita million talulu aninkiling.
Claimed that for most part of it, it was monies that he gave to council.
Ako bare fanang aka memfo wo kodo ta wato wala kodo ta aka dalilo me tan wala mo akata atla kodo le mi anko afango wo dundi wala tele odi council la.
But you did not know this at the time.
Ako bayte mo kalam da wato kono.
For 5 years.
Ata telefon sanji lulu.
I'm assuming you do not know this at the time.
Ako ala miro kono wala munta ko ite mo kalam telefon sanji lulu.
Or you knew?
Ako fo
Lamin Suso man sanyi lulu ke Bateria Council.
Lamin Suso did not spend 5 years in Basse.
Okay, during the time that he spent in Basse,
Ako wato men na be Basse.
he withdrew over $51 million.
Aka kodo men ta wala men bonde atamita million talulu aninkling.
You were aware of all this withdrawal?
Ako yo kalam tale.
No launch in commission order.
I only knew that through this commission.
But why did you not request for the statement of accounts?
Ako munat na imong statement of accounts yun ka request.
At least every 2 months or 3 months.
Ako komen ning karifulale mo if karifulale ka
Why?
karo kaya dila. Ako munat na ibuka okay?
Well, nga statement yun at General Council level.
Yes, I do request them at the General Council level.
And then,
Aha.
was it produced?
Ako ikadila level.
At times,
The answer is no. If you say yes, I will demand that you produce the minutes of council meeting.
Ako ye membi ye la jabiro menti wala nyanta kele menti wole mo hani. Ako bayri ni ko ha be ni ngalal de pour yo kay tolu bondi nande.
I'm qualifying. I say, came what do nga request la akana dolto.
Yes,
Dolto ka statement na le bidu ma fonga bangso me be request la statement ni ka pa ko bangso bel na di bang pa ka bangso dolto na di baban nga statement request dolto asina dolto na abgana apre.
Yes, I'm not saying what I'm telling you. I say maybe the time I do request some of the statements were not brought or they brought to me. I cannot remember fully, but I don't know whether all the bank statements were brought. But sometimes when I request, they even don't bring the statements.
Now it's maybe.
Ako sa namun ako sa ka for maybe.
Mr. Danjo,
Ako ite Mr.
Ever
Danjo.
since ngolo kono bira ko bira nga discussion ko ngolo kono.
Since we started,
100% ka ko aka produce let.
since we started, I said that yes, whenever I request is produced.
Mr. Danjo,
Yes.
you never requested the statement of accounts for
Ako
the purpose of reviewing them.
wati na naman soto mi alam ko ite nyinin karo ke pour statement of account di la pour ya korosi wala ya jube.
The council
Ako cancel.
never requested. The council. Hear me out. Hear
Ako
me out.
ela mo ifolo operator.
Because to agree would even be much more easier for you than to deny. Because if you deny, it means you were complicit. You knew it was withdrawn unlawfully. You did nothing about it.
Ako sang pour song kuol jinna fanga mera wala sone ata dan ibe ko ibe bannato. Ako bayri ni bangal wo be
Ndesona ko me yaranko
I will not agree with things
akada sinya kingan sinya pula.
that
Ka ko man solo parents
happened once, twice. I said I will not agree to that.
Do you have evidence of requests that you placed to Lamin Suso individually as a chairman, and whether council did so, the evidence of the request you have, and then your observations on the accounts?
Ako sang fo ibe said ya so to bang membe said la ko tojale mu ika nyinin karo ke lam suso e bra e o statement ol dila andum fana ni ajube ko ni adila fana aketa fendi mi alango ka korosile yalo membe ya ko fo fe na so membe o said yalo
kile ngalo ko ni ka true council minister nta ko no council meeting jumalon ba ni ka council meeting la nga statement ni request bi dawa day bo jalal.
I cannot remember exactly which meetings, but at council meeting, all the council meeting, whenever I request bank statements, I do have it.
Give us the minutes.
Mavo nkame fo wolam ko during the council meeting, Zolbi Jamian Konka statement requested from the CEO to the finance director. Well, they'll find those records there. Let them produce financial statements. Bank statements.
What I mean here is that there are evidences that there are certain meetings between council meetings of which I do request the CEO by writing for him to write to the director of finance for the statements. If you check, there will be evidence to that.
Yes, so we will request that.
Personally, but the clerk of the council
Danjo ila mo nyame fo nga fo if isna ila jabiro ako saying tolbe sulari was saferol. What I want to let the commission understand is that it's not me writing personally. There are people or person individual who do write to me.
The council clerk, to the CEO, council meeting carrying the agendas or the items on the agenda we need a financial statement or a bank statement from this finance director.
And that is the council's clerk who used to write to the CEO to say the agenda of the meeting will need the financial statements from the director of finance.
Consult the council clerk.
Council clerk.
It is your evidence that it exists.
All the minutes with the commission. The council clerk don't know. All the minutes are with the commission.
All the minutes from council's meetings are all with the commission.
But if I tell you it is not there, you will not be here to verify. Now send the council clerk to come and check.
Ako na ko ateje alo itete bantara jampuru ka verify. Ako sa men nyanta wala men so rete bulu afo council chila ko ni wo ko ning o chikino. Wala ya boni yedo.
O clerk no man communicate council anymore again. So
that clerk I cannot be able to reach him because he is no more at council.
We also did not see the evidence you are talking about.
Kondo fana ma evidence yete ka men fotek.
But nsapo no le kapo meeting so na me ankon na clerk na council clerk kasafero kele to request for minutes.
Yes,
to request for statements from the bank and statement from the finance director.
I can say that at the council's meetings, there are meetings that I make requests to the CEO for him to request it from the director of finance.
Yes. Now, Mr. Danjo, it is your responsibility to provide evidence. It is your responsibility to provide evidence. The withdrawals that were made by Lamin Suso, for instance, just Lamin Suso. Total more than $51 million. If you were doing your job as chairman or council, you would have realized that these withdrawals were not duly authorized. You understand that?
Lead council, let me understand.
Answer the question first and make your statement.
Answer yes or no?
What do you want me to answer, yes or no?
You would have realized, if you had done your job to review these statements of account, you would have realized that there were very unusual withdrawals that was draining council's funds. Do you agree with that?
I was doing my job normally, accordingly.
So how comes you were not with the knowledge that Lamin Suso was withdrawing more than $51 million?
Ako sa muna na imang kalamtara ko ko lamini ko do bondi banko wala mentata wala mentameta milyon talulu ankilik. Ando ito siranti.
And as council.
Ani kena council di fano.
Wala kan lapa puka je experience ay.
This is why I want to explain.
Go ahead.
Clarence. Ako isa continue no le afo.
Lamin Suso la 51 million o kafa ya be withdraw within a short span in Basse. That kafa be withdraw mambo kama banya ya mado kala no nyame.
The reason or the time the allegation that Lamin Suso have withdrawn more than 51 million while I was not aware at the time. But as I said later on, I was aware. Now I'm telling you how I became aware of that.
First na council la intana fengolore audit committee tamele auditing kije.
We have council's internal audit who were auditing therein.
Mr.
Biro Baraje,
Proceed, please.
Biro Baraje Watime,
After that,
my recommendation from the General Council to hire the service of 2 auditors.
after he left, we then wrote to the commission to recommend that we need 2 auditors.
No, to the ministry. Ministry of the Amta.
We communicated to the ministry
Yemo Mako auditor Fulala, internal auditor Fulala.
for them to assist us with 2 auditors, internal auditors.
Council level auditor ta kejo.
It was council who were paying those auditors.
Intele lodging dila la feed intela dila.
We gave them all the accommodations and their feeding
Just pour kabol a council ka all the accounts ka audit.
so that they can audit all the council.
Nata mampare ka tilon ke o mampare tapale ko ya mo service kala number.
If at all I don't want to make my duties normal, I want to be corrupt, do you think I can be able to, or I can do that service?
Mbabla no wanyale fonna tame banga buje de ni mbota jawar ni na auditor command sarantije.
I will leave it like that until I left. Whenever they call the auditors, that will find me not therein.
Bari mo ke nko is a concern for us the situation in the council ma ko bla wanya na ko ta na fighting agin auditor nati at the expense of the council to audit the council's books.
But I did not stop there. I tried by all means so that we can have auditors to come and audit council and in the expenses of council.
Mr. Danjo,
Yes.
if you have letters that you have written to the ministry
According letter also to the ministry.
regarding the issue of employing internal auditors,
Ako puru kumol men fajang ko safele puru kaje ko auditor fuladira internal auditors.
you can provide these letters.
Ako mesulala o letter on.
The issue here is
Ako jam membe jawolem ko.
you as chairman at the time,
Ako bayde o wato telem chairman otije.
under your supervision,
Ako fadan ko be tela supervisor itle bulole koto.
the powers you have as per the relevant laws,
Ako fadan luale se moment dila.
you were supervising the CEO and the finance director's activities administration.
Ako itele ka CEO and finance director la tamandri nya jube.
Your finance director,
Ako ila finance director.
Lamin Suso,
Memu lamen suso.
you drew over $51 million,
Ako ko do mem bondi konto ta tata fa tabeta million talulu anin killing.
and we are saying
Ako ndul ka mem fo.
you were in the position to know
Ako wala mu ite inyanto len puru ye long.
it could not have reached this amount,
Ako amanya nakafta nyin nanga moto.
and because you did not know as far as you're concerned,
Ako bayri te kamen fo jang wala ikame itan wala mi ma kalam
it
tanu.
means you did not do your job.
Ako wala mu ko mon si men fo wala mi ila do ho inyanta kala nyame ma ke o nyama.
Man so lala because nga fo ko
I disagree.
odama manget na doko the council.
I disagree because I said earlier on that is not the only job I have or functions I have at council.
For that job,
Ako wo function on wala o do ko nyin.
for that one,
Wo go kili on kamem
you
nak mo.
failed in that one.
Ako wo jele mata mandanya mai boy ta jele.
Man so wala kadi nga internal auditor ta nge ako nge nati.
I
We
disagree.
paid them our money. Council la money ngota ngejo, not the ministry's money, but council's money ngota ngejo for them to dig into the issue.
I disagree.
Kako ko mana doko ko I disagree man so ngoto.
I disagree. These are my reasons why I employed or I requested for the employment of the internal auditors.
You said you were in the position to request from the CEO the statement of accounts.
Ako ya fele ko yanto le mu pour ka jinin karo ke CEO statement of account.
You said that yourself.
Ako ifo le fo jam.
Right?
Yes.
And if you had done that,
Ako niata yo kenu.
you would have seen the withdrawals.
Ako ibe do le ba kam tale ba jelale.
Remember,
Ako se akelo bulandi.
the CEO is under the direction and control of council.
Ako ba jela CEO wala ta mandri nya o bebe council le bulu.
The auditor is answerable to council,
Ako auditor fadan kata moti me an ka council le koto.
so that council can direct that the auditor commence or start an investigation.
Ako wala ba jela council le ka fo wala wala jonta kango dila ka fo ko auditor nyonta la do ko kala
Is that
wala
not the
janta.
case?
Ako fa man ka nya.
Is that not
That's
the
the
case?
case, but
That's the case.
the problem is na internal auditor men so personally council internal auditor men appoint no.
But the problem was that the internal auditor that we had, which was appointed by council,
The finance director will figures long katami internal auditor.
the director know figures, know much about figures more than the internal auditor.
That is not the line of my.
Let me just learn.
Go ahead.
the reason me akeni a qualified internal auditor soron noje.
The reason why we could not be able to have a qualified internal audit,
Internal auditor, qualified internal auditor, so mainly into council more soron no prokojo no wala keni mga from the council, from the finance sector elevate to the position of auditor.
the qualified internal auditor's salary, council cannot be able to pay that. This is why we motivated or evaluated one from the finance so that he can be the internal auditor.
Mr. Danjo, was there an internal auditor when you were there?
Ako wato men na ibiye for alle internal auditor soto dun nebo.
I testified at the council, at the commission.
That is not my question.
Ako woman kala nyinen karoti.
Was there an internal auditor
Ako nyinen karo men na wa
when you were the
I
chairman?
didn't
ila jamano.
I testified at the commission. Testified at the commission.
That is what I'm telling you, that he have testified here, because if I don't get, then I will not say he have
So
testified.
it's a yes.
Ako samunta ko Harlem.
Ha.
Yes.
Good. So now, this internal auditor
Ako ni internal auditor nying.
is answerable to council, correct?
Ako afana yedang ko akeda ko council la ko di.
Ha.
Yes.
Now, let me
What's
read
that?
to you the Local Government Finance and Audit Act 2004. Are you familiar with this act?
Ako ibatu ay local government la silo ay melandi ala loi ta mandri ya 2004 pour ifa yo moy. Ako fo falang yo kan dale ba. Ilal
Kaya ko ninga concerns on that I can go to the book ngata ngabon. Bon ta based on in my head like that. More based on
Yes,
any concerns on I go to the book ngajib.
Yes, I have said earlier on, I wouldn't say that I'm familiar because I cannot say some of the things in off-head. But whenever I need a rise, I check, I go to the book, I visit the book.
Part 3
Ako part 3.
highlighted the role of the auditor.
Ako we may tan wala mo auditor la
It
duhunya.
says internal audit section 26.
Ako wala mo section 26.
Every council shall establish an internal audit department.
Ako we tan ya wala mo council anyanta internal auditor sot la department ko.
The head of the internal audit department, who shall be answerable to the council,
Ako memo ila nyata ko ti internal audit mi ala ko we dang ko la council ma.
shall prepare and submit to the council quarterly audit reports and forward a copy each to local government accounts committee.
Ako e baje la ko wala nyanta ko fi be dada la andun committee ko nyanta la ka copy dada pour ka audit la.
Without prejudice to local government act 2002,
Ako ni ajuwe
Six.
local government ila loi melandi 2002 part 6.
a council shall take such measures as it deems necessary
Ako council nyanta osilo tala le ni ajuwe ko a jartala
to ensure the proper administration of its financial affairs.
ka je ko pour ila sotonya wala ila na fulo nyanta topto la nyanta nyame.
28 sub 1,
Ako ni ajuwe muani sei tumbukling.
that the auditor shall at least once every year
Ako anyanta le sango sang hani wati kilinem
cause the accounts of council to be audited and reported on.
ka je ko alla konto natale ka kisisi wala ka audit aduna pare woto kana alfi ka report.
Subsection 2,
Ako tundu fula nyawo.
the auditor shall draw the attention of the council
Ako auditor kata moldi mi alongo anyanta natol council nyanta ka nyomoy.
any irregularities
Tengo fe mi alongo amanta nyama.
in the accounts audited
Wala mu account mi alongo wala
And-
konto mi alongo a juwele.
and to any other matter which in his or her opinion
Ako wala ko mi alongo atla jeroto
ought to be brought to the notice of the council.
men nyantale ka pour ale akalamdo.
Do you understand this?
Ako yo fahamle. Yes, I'm listening, yes.
So that the auditor is under the direction and control of council.
Ako si kaitado ako auditor bebe council la bulu.
Do you understand that?
Ako yo fahamle.
Ngafam.
Yes, I
So
do.
that you must demand quarterly reports.
Ako san nyatolo nyantole mpuro ka quarterly report ka jininka.
You understand that?
Ako yo fahamle.
Ngafam.
Yes, I
So that
do.
you must demand at least every year once that your accounts be audited.
Ako falang sang hani kisi nyakilin ne mal nyantale kalo ka je ko alla konto ya kisi le wala ya audit le.
Do you understand that?
Ako yo fahamle.
Ha.
Yes, I do.
Why are you doing this?
Ako
Why are you doing this?
foi kanyin kenun ne ba.
Nka dokele no.
I do some.
Which
But in detail na explain mo na kada. What's the problem?
I can go in details and explain what was the problem.
before explaining,
Ako dandi ba explain.
give us answers.
Ako si
Answer dila. Nko ko times. Nakele.
I gave you the answer that sometimes we
So
do.
then let me break it down.
Ako saan ba ito nga fatang
Did you demand that the internal auditor audit the accounts every year at least once?
Ako fo ika auditor jinin kala pero I audit accounts audit sangosang. Si
Ah.
Yes.
Where is the evidence that you have written to the auditor to provide audited accounts once every year?
Wo evidence le me asia de ko to nyala mo yesa fero kele auditor ya pour ka je ko ay
Well, yeah, madam, and into evidence money knowledge. Because
Because
if you guys in the fair can be audit be evidence in bonnet because council documents on the documents may be no officer.
Right
So
now.
any correspondent I always make sure I copy for my own file.
Right
So
now,
I'm sorry
where
if
I
my
am-
files may be
So
not
then we
documented.
need you to talk slow so that what you are saying will be interpreted so that we can all hear you. Whoever have questions for you, we can ask them.
ako ko nga kili ko men fo dong kana kan di fo tambi ka ke ko ni be patle le si jina ko.
Man can India nyabo.
I know
Man
what
can it.
I'm not hot. It's not the way I talk.
No,
Ako puri
Mr.
ka
Bojang,
kundung kundu.
Mr. Bojang, just interpret exactly what I said. I didn't
Ako
say
sa-
angry also.
Ako ate men fo ama fo kandida de.
Yes, we need him to
Ako me sura gitele mento
clearly-
wala ka je ko fengo feni ba fala.
and slowly
Andi ya do mandoma.
so that you can interpret.
Isa jente ye be ngo men fo sa fra fancha jam.
If there are questions for him, it will be asked.
Ako e ba jara dinga fo ni toli amoy na jata e nyinin ka fra be nyinin ka lale.
Do you understand?
Ako ya faham le.
Nka men file wala ko.
What I'm telling you is that
Nimpa be nunje ntara through my files.
I am here, if I go through my files,
Mbe letter killing of plagiarism me ango nga internal auditor support directly general council internal auditor support directly cover by audit exercise sponsor for the council.
I'll see 1 or 2 letters that will indicate that the council was writing to the auditor for the auditor to come and audit council.
We'll wait for that. We can wait for that.
Ako ntol suwo batu nole.
You can send someone. I wouldn't have to tell you what to do.
Ako amanjar ntolo nga fete nyanta menkela.
If it is a council resolution,
Ako council la resolution ole wodi.
the people you have worked with,
Ini mol mi an kale do ko ke nyola.
they can come and help,
Wala sina nole mol ma koy.
where they can produce it.
Fo to sa bonni nole.
If it is in your home here somewhere,
Ako hanna ta bi la so ko do kara do biye.
send someone.
Isi mo kino
The
je.
bottom line is,
Ako bare sa ko be momenti.
it does not exist.
Ako aman sotole.
The idea that council,
Exist.
the idea that council wrote to the internal auditor to provide the accounts,
Ako
audited accounts,
miro mi alon ko council ya safele auditor pra na la accounts audit.
no evidence of that.
Ako amam sedra mo soto de.
Maybe na ko be said arje but nta sa file ko cover ko assaultale because na internal auditor yin fang nga sa pele cover ka council audit. Let him audit the whole system of the council.
Yes, if
Then
you
na audit committee final assign pour ka council council audit.
yes, if you say there's no evidence here, yes, I will agree. But I'm trying to tell you that I have written to the auditor so that he can come and audit council. For
We are
that
waiting for
did.
the evidence.
Ako sa andol fa ka say do le batu.
And loko men fana fula council e pra honest awlam ko bintel na raje wati men
And
man auditory council in 2018.
as the time we came to council in the year 2018,
Man auditory je there was no auditor at that point in time.
and there was no auditor at council at that point time.
Nata menke
What we did,
nga ministry sape num pour ka auditor ni for the council.
we wrote to the ministry so that ministry can find auditor for council.
Wakono nata modo tanga elevate ngake internal auditor.
Through that, we selected one person, elevate him to be our auditor.
Nga sama training na Banjul,
We took him to training in Banjul,
National Audit Office.
audit office.
Bira mutana bira training banda mutana.
After he completed the training, he came back.
I short period ki ya apona resign ako at a position in Samanola.
When he just spent short period there, he resigned and said that he cannot be able to go ahead with the work.
But still now, we still communicate to ministry.
But still, we don't stop there. We used to communicate to the ministry.
Your position on your advertise.
The position was advertised.
Bari kodo ye sari me ataja bala moja amale kutukana wala.
But the salary that was attached, many people don't want to come for it, for that salary.
Then nada modota from the finance department ngame elevate kake auditor.
Then from there, we pick someone from the finance department, the one we elevated to be our auditor.
Bari nada tari ko finance director ele figures long katambi o marida.
But it happens that the finance director knows figures more than that individual.
So probably fengara wolto.
That is where the problem occurred.
Mr. Danjo, let me
Yes.
read to you your statement regarding Lamin Suso's withdrawals.
Ako sang ataku kela abe lamin la ila fangula statement o abe wole karane yemen fo lamin la karola ala ko di bondi wato.
The fifth page,
Ako kayit lulu nyango.
the second paragraph.
Ako tungku fula nyang.
There's a third paragraph
Ako saba nyango.
where it's stated that on the issue of cash withdrawals over $51 million is from council's account.
Ako eme itana je wala mo kodo mi alon ko ya bondi men tambeta million talulu aning killing council la kondo
From council accounts
council la kondo
by the director of finance Lamin Suso
and no mayor ke wala mo director of finance e kamen fo Lamin
and
Suso
team.
and team anala molu.
I came to know that figure after the system audit.
Ko sang ite fangola kalamolo ina ta fako ina ta kalamta kabring system audit keda.
Finally,
Ako ko alabandula
what I want to put across is that I was not a vote controller.
ako ilafta men fola wala mo ite manke vote controller.
I was not a signatory to any of the council's accounts.
I was not.
A signatory to any of the council's accounts.
Ako ani wanka signatory farang
Even the vote
council account.
I was just the political head
Ako ite keta political nyaton koti.
and presides over general council's meetings.
And farang ni kamen je wala mo you preside over general council's meetings. Yes.
Yes. So here you did not state anywhere that you were trying to investigate this matter at council level.
Ako je watite je wala dulate je mi alon ko yaitan le ko ifarang ibenu ci sisrola ka je ko at council level.
Lika fijala me understand amanke komi na fera pension kungoro mbabe sa fenolo na terminal ba. That's not possible.
Lead council, what you should understand, it doesn't mean that whatever I know or I have in my head, I'll write it. That is not possible.
Well, I am just pointing out your statement regarding your answer.
Ako itila statement.
I mean for you, intela for, but nkabe mfa wala mpo, not everything ngamen long kungono during that time sake no in the state. What jump on
I accept, and that is what I have said. But what I want to let you know is not all what I know can be written at once.
We will remind you again
Ako hani sanin be haklo blandila.
to please not allow our speeches to overlap.
Pour kaje ko nadia munyale fonyo ko.
I know you understand English.
Ako alon ne ko angale men ka fojang itele ka
You
moy.
chose to speak in Mandinka,
Ako bari fangale atom mon ko be diam la ni mandinga.
so you will want to wait for the interpretation.
Ko be sula men na jam pour yam ma ko ning
Is that fair enough?
saje so fanan ko la ko molu fo. Ya moy.
It's fair enough. Lafta namol mele melbe lamoka mele abon madikanga police be sa membe memfoka.
Yes, I want my people who are listening to hear me what I'm saying in Mandinka.
Now, that is what I was trying to say, Mr. Danjo,
Ako woman ke alafta men fola.
that your statement
Ako itela statement o.
provides a different answer.
Woye me itandi wo ate jabiro bala
To
den jabita je woni
What you are trying to say now.
ani kamen fo sa mankiling.
Amanke mankilinde.
No, it doesn't mean that they are not the same.
Okay?
Ngamen fa is simple. Nkai ko
What I have
amanke
said,
pengo ngamen sonum hakilo kono at that point in time ba be kan whatever be kan statement. Ni nara ni yenyinka. I can explain myself.
not all I know in my head, I will put it in the statement. No, I'll just put some there. But some of the things that I know, whenever I'm here or like this, when you ask me, I will tell you.
So you were aware of these withdrawals after the system audit, correct?
Ako sai ilafta fala din ko bondo ite akalam tawato men wala mu kabrin system audit keda.
Going by your statement.
Very good.
Fangola statement do.
Ha.
Yes.
What did you do
Ako ina ta muneke.
as...
Nada menke.
What I did.
Of course you heard me.
Ako ha ya moile kai.
Ha. Birin nara nyeng ko wadi ni hakilo ba kan we wrote to the ministry.
After I was aware, if I could remember, we wrote to the ministry.
Okay, saying what?
Ako ale mune fo.
Kaitan Lila Kabo, Suso was involved in, according to the auditors, Suso was involved in withdrawing over $51 million.
That we wrote, according to the auditors, that Suso was involved withdrawing an amount of over $51 million.
Where is the letter?
Ako letter on yun le.
Oh, council ntige sa into letter of la for COA produce and for COA produce Bamalo. But I'm 100% so nale correspondence either from the ministry or COA file most likely Alberta Laje.
I'm not here now, Council, but I don't know whether the CEO have presented those letters to the commission or not. But if CEO is asked about those letters, probably he may produce them if they are in.
Look, we have had this evidence for a very long period of time. You were the chairman. You had all the time to know that this was an issue. In fact, you heard about this issue since in 2022.
Ako inyantale kalong andu yakamdale nyingkol kira wato men na kabirin 2022.
That Lamin Su and his team withdrew over $51 million. It's $51,169,000.
Lamin nala timo yekodo bondi mi alang ko atala fo million talulu aning killing. Men tambeta wala chebelulu.
From council's various accounts.
Andung ay all bondi council account control kono.
To start with,
Ako sa me follow la dame.
Your administration should have called for an emergency council meeting.
Ako ila administration no nyanta men kala no wolu nyanta commander kala mi alon ko emergency council meeting.
That's $51 million is plus.
Ako $51 million is plus.
Did you do that?
Ako fayo kelu neba.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Okay, we will need the minutes of those meetings as well.
Ako mesula wo minutes on la fana wo meeting la minutes on.
Yeah, I'm sure all the council meetings, let me obey the commission.
I know all the council meetings minutes are with the commission.
Mr. Danjo, you are not in town.
Ako man tarajam.
So you find a way of
down.
you find a way of trying to help us with the people you were working with.
Ako sai ibe benkala ibe ndul ma ko elale ini mol men kon do ko kenu.
To refer to us to the relevant minutes.
Well,
Ko saje ko wali se
the clerk of the council,
wo minutes on.
clerk of the council coming up and new man so me kila me minutes la call on your back, that's going to be the problem.
As I said, the problem will be that because now I am not in touch with the council's clerk, so I don't know. It will be a problem.
We do not see anything you have done, and so we don't have any evidence in relation to what was done in Lamin Suso's case.
By you,
Mr. Danjo.
Council not by me, I cannot take it personally. But the general council has stepped out towards this thing. General council, Ministry Safele, Ministry Informal.
Well, Council, what you should understand is not me personally or as an individual. I'm talking on behalf of Council. Council have taken step and it have written.
You are the chairman.
I quite tell them chairman.
That's why I talked to you.
Despite the fact that I'm not councillor turning me do a whole, not personally, not individually.
Yes, despite the fact I have councillors of which I work along, not me alone.
Look, Mr. Danjo.
Ako ito Mr. Danjo.
Your responsibilities
ako inyanto menti.
Were different from the councillor's responsibility.
Ako woning councillor la inyanto man kilingotide.
And so you are in a position
Andu ite sa monta ko position do.
To tell us
Ka fondo le ko.
The council you had. You know, when you succeed, you always take the credit.
Councillor be alon ko ite wolle nyaton kaya.
And when there's a problem,
ako bari ni ganyeta ite ka fondo tele mbat nim problem onara.
You are quick to say, I don't sign checks. Is the CEO who sign checks? If there's a development that is done, it is under my watch, and I secured that development. So if you take the credit, you take the blame. That's how it works.
Ako akatama ule nyama.
If council built 5 boreholes that are very good, for instance,
Ako san misali fi nale boho lulu singmi alon ko ibetata.
and you say it is under Chairman Danjo's administration,
Anu sa mona ta fako chairman danjola administration olemu.
that Chairman Danjo brought about massive development.
Ako bajala chairman danjo ayuro abale samanang.
We have more than 1 million is allegedly stolen.
Para ni million filtamenta ta ko million talulu aning kiling.
It's fair to say that Chairman Danjo didn't do his job as well.
Ako je fanang abe feala le wala abe kala fenti mi alon ko abe kala wala
Is that
nyama
not the
mo
case?
sa fako imena do ko ke nyama. Ako fama ko nyama.
Ha dul ba ko nya ba franci men fono yalam fana ben tapala.
Yes, people.
Na te abo nya mana dogo kenan. Fine, son da ko mana dogo. Ba franci men fono wala ko ngana dogo kele. Because
Yes.
51 million they don't realize that about 51 million tinya base area council my any step. That's out of it.
Yes, if people say that, yes, but I too will have something to say because for that amount of over 51 million, for it to get in vain like that, no, in Pasay Area Council, we will not be ready for that.
We will not be.
Be ready for that.
What does that mean?
Ako wo me itandi.
And Mavo will not be ready for that.
I did not say.
About 51 million disappear base area council. Yara council my any step. That's not possible.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that for over 51 million disappears from Pasay Area Council and we don't take any steps. No, that is not possible.
But provide us with the steps.
Ako steps so after ngawul je ale fundamenta.
In the first instance,
How can I
go ahead.
Mr. to provide an analysis because now we wrote to ministry.
How-
Ministry administrative big deal.
How am I going to
Hold on,
provide the steps? Because I said we have written to the ministry.
Mr. Danjo, if you had followed your authority as chairman
Ako ni la nyanto po no manung komite busiranti oti.
to have these thresholds,
Ako puro yung threshold sul ke soto.
send these thresholds to the banks that you bank with,
Wala mo kay threshold sul ki bankol to me along kale control soto damen.
so that there is clearance to certain limits of withdrawals.
Ako kaje ko kaitandi ko kodo nyanta funtila damen dandula de bala.
That the chairman will exercise his authority by law
Ako bajela chiamano nying me muite ibela sembo sambala
clearance.
loi pour ka clearance sul
for withdrawals, certain withdrawals.
pour bajela ko konto do bije na
You
la
wouldn't have had this problem.
ako bajela ko nying kuolte ke do la aketa nyamende.
Correct?
Ako faman ko nyama.
Ha.
Yes.
Good. You failed to do that.
Ako ifel tale ma woke no nyina
You,
nyu
you
ko.
failed woefully to do that.
Ako ifel tale to
No, man wala.
I disagree.
Did you do that?
Ako fa woke lunne.
Ngamen ke barambo fly ne.
What I did is what I will tell you.
Did
What
you
I-
have the threshold?
Ako e threshold soto level.
Man press okay.
No, I don't have
So you
threshold.
failed to have a threshold.
Ako ifel taje
I
what threshold.
accept I feel tele ka trace also don't accept le.
Yes, I accept
So
that.
kapo man penke da son no la.
I feel that I don't have a threshold, yes, but I'll disagree that
Manfenke, ka fail.
I don't do anything.
Let's leave the issue of I don't do anything for now.
Ako sang man ku wala man fenke nganyina
Let's
wala.
focus on that which you have failed to do.
Ako sang I boyta damento I nyanta menke le
That
mak.
you in council should have made sure
Ako ite council member council I nyanta le ka jeko.
that the powers of the CEO and the finance directors are so much limited
Ako sembo mi aron ko be CEO and in director of finance wolu dandula le bele.
that they cannot sign checks anyhow they like,
Andung itol manyana kala multi mi aron ko be kali chekol sign la lafta la nyaaw nyama.
and that was not done, correct?
Andung wo manke. Kodi?
Aw manke.
Yes.
And if that is not done,
That is not done.
That-
Ako
that's
ni
a
wo
failure.
manke. Wala failure ti boyta jele.
on the issue of making sure there is a limit,
Kaje ko atandula le bala.
you agree?
Ako
Lead
sonta
council.
lead council.
Lead council.
Do you agree first?
Ako fo sonta jele bang follow.
Do you
Han
agree?
son da
that-
jere son ta jere men fo ban ngamen so men la la barambo la la.
I agree, but I have something to buttress.
Say it, then I move on.
Ako issue for no lenga ta.
Level lead council can understand.
I want you to understand is that
Na tere o system sifabe hapuna sa all council lo ka boko all the final director la CEO be limited authority so donna.
mela moy
Commission na establishment na can all duration but it was not happening in any of the councils before.
mela moy la ko mo senga may ko.
Nko lead council kame for na tari o be so na o so sign.
Lead council, what we are saying, if at all that had happened, Now,
Also the sign.
that had happened now.
But tell me now what no son mention nunje.
But the time we were coming, the notion that we found therein,
All of the CEO, all of the chief accountant of the council,
that the CEO is the chief accountant in council,
accounting officer of the council.
accounting officer in council.
So on the side of finance, and that's the notion that we have at that point in time.
So anything concerning finance, that was the notion we had at the time.
Sadanjo,
Natare omanke siloti nga sebe kaho omanke siloti, but that was the system we operate and what we councils.
That is not a good system. Yes, we'll agree, but that was the system we were operating in council.
Sadanjo,
Yes.
you are not elected to come with a notion.
Ako ibete tombong puya naje wala ime karto faite naje ini notion.
The councillors were not elected to just come with a notion.
Na ne councilolu imawol tombong puya naje ini la mirol.
The employees of councils were not employed to just come with a notion.
Ako menu ta do ko la je ime ta do je ka foko itolu ni bina ini la mirol le bina.
You were to follow sets of rules and regulations and laws.
Ako je tamanyal le bije fanal sifal le bije lual le bije me anon kala nyantale ka wono.
Not what you think
Amanke ko ifangole me mira.
or how you think.
Wala ya mira nyameng.
If it is not in line with what the law says,
Wat na tra anin luwa manta.
we all leave it at home
Ako ikaw tu so kono le.
and in our private businesses.
Awala na private business olu.
But then this
Ako
is an institution
mu institution olu.
that has regulations.
Yala ko luale bala tabanyale bala.
You were the chairman of an area council
Ako ite kita nung sirantieti area council
that
olu.
takes revenue from people
Mi alam ko alikal lempol leta mol.
in the hundreds of millions of dollars,
Ako chemol million million olu.
and that had to be managed
Ako wanyantale ka manage.
not by the way you think,
Ako amanke ko ite amira
but
nyame.
by what the law says.
Bare luwa ya fo nyame.
It's as simple as that.
Ako wole amang ko le ya.
Ya mbe mfana men jabi la wala wolam ko lead council nyanda men famula.
My response to that is that lead council, what you're supposed to understand is that
Ngama nyanda ka Ministry of Local Government dogoldi.
is it the Minister of Local Governments work.
Ni any new council nata.
Any new council who came,
Ya kata ye proper induction ke the whole council.
they try to make proper induction the whole council.
Ye induction ke me an local government ak mala kende ke
The induction of that will touch the local government much.
the local government financial pengoji manual ojil.
And the financial manual
Ye induction ka correct for all councils.
for them to do induction correctly, all the councils.
But imagine terminal award council la system be nyamen no.
But imagine at the time we were coming, the system of council was,
There was no proper structures in the council or no.
there were no proper structures in council at the time.
Is that your excuse?
Nimita ni withdrawal la karola fanana.
When we go to the withdrawal side,
Especially na project funding.
especially our project funds,
Ngafo bangsol ni no kodo be bangsol membul kabo ko ni let them not release any fund to the council directly.
we inform the banks where those funds were kept that any council who come to collect funds, let them not give to councils like that.
But yadi direct to the beneficiary, men the contractors.
Let the monies be given or the fund be given direct to the
Sadanjo,
beneficiaries. That is the
let us
contractors.
not deviate.
Ako jang kana
No, I'm not deviating. By the 51 million,
I'm not deviating because you are talking about the over 51 million that was withdrawn by Lamin. That is what I'm trying to make it clear.
Yes.
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 Why is that relevant?
Ako munat na wo farang kita
The banks, you did not give the banks the threshold.
Ako imang threshold di bank.
You don't have a threshold.
Imang threshold so.
Man threshold di bank sa bari nga worth sila kabo ko ni doko tara state certain percentage of doko tara the consultant will inform us the CEO will write to the bank kabo bank we can release this amount of money to the contractor.
Yes, there wasn't any threshold, but we have informed them that whenever the project or development went up to stage, and if the consultants need finance or funds, he will inform or write to the CEO, and the CEO will write to the bank.
Well, we don't have that evidence.
Ako tell mo evidence.
If you have it, you can produce it.
Ako niyo evidence or isip mako wala.
Even with that
I
evidence,
wish I was there.
even with that,
Ako hani mo fam.
of course, I have said that there is no evidence of that.
Ako parate afole ko evidence te
I don't trust that.
Ako aman la wala.
There is no reason to trust that.
Ako fanam ku
Yeah,
ku te jere
opinion
mati na
is-
Moses.
But let's assume it is true.
Ako baren sa mata do ko tonalem.
That is not what the law says.
Ako bare loi yo le fo.
Just follow what the law says.
Ako loi men fo yo no
The
loi
law
mo
is
fo.
talking about the thresholds.
Ako loi men fo wala threshold.
And so you just have to pass a resolution
Ite jan katambi resolution wa.
to limit the powers of the chief executive officer
Kaje ko executive officer so la semo ke tala.
so that
Kaje ko
you communicate that to the banks.
isaje ali wala na ko aldi am ta kali am bank ye.
When they sign a check
Nim wole check or sign.
and it goes to the bank
Atata bank.
and there's no evidence of clearance,
Andung evidence man so ko clearance ke
if the
clearance
bank
so
pay,
ning bank ye ko do jo.
they are responsible.
Wala nyan tole wote tola responsible.
But you don't do that.
Ako para ibuka okay.
So you have failed.
You failed ha.
By law, you failed. The law said you must do it. You didn't do it. You failed.
Ako luwa ko yan ta kelale ni ma ke wala
It's
mi
hard to
failed.
swallow. It's a bitter pill.
Ako fenne me ko fo
But you
akunu.
failed.
Akuninda akuni atal de bar fo akunu. Ako failed tale.
Fine.
Fine.
Fine is not yes. Fine is just fine.
It can feel that. It's fine about that.
Do you
I say
agree
fine is good.
or you don't agree?
Ako iso tele fo man so.
Man so nga fay ñame fatim fa la do moy. Ngamel fa fa so do moy.
I disagree, but
Yeah,
you two.
filter man threshold. I accepted that I fail on that side.
Yes, I accept that I failed. There wasn't any threshold. I
You
agree.
see,
Yes, I accept
Mr.
it.
Danjo, this is
Yes.
particularly important because in your statement,
Ako nyin kata fenne timi ako
Yes.
ma tale ban ni ajube le statement.
you disagreed with some of the comments I made.
Ako kuma dol bi mi alam ko na fo hadi ibalanta ko kumol la.
And so it is your right.
Ako nyan tole.
For instance, because you are not here, it is only fair that we read it to you. You have the opportunity.
Ako
The third page.
bayar iman tranu jang war sa hal sa
Yes. All right.
Mr. Janjo,
Yes.
we have to take a break now. We will
Okay.
come back after 1 hour. So
Alright.
we expect to continue the hearing.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. We may rise.
Okay.